So I'm just going to watch the first little bit. We'll see where you're at, and then I'll start talking.
Round one. Capture the objective.
Oh, happens to the best of us. Okay, cool. Yeah. There's like a lot of good things, some things we can work on.
3, 2,
So,
1.
so from the beginning, you amp out of spawn. Good to do on these kinds of maps. You scuff out, or you scuff the rollout on Lucky. You may have been going to do this, but just in case, just to give you like some ideas. When I roll out, I come up this way like you were doing, or more often actually I'll like come up here, or like hit this tree, and try to like get up over here and slide around on this thing, or even up over the top of this, and spam down. And if you hit the rollout fast enough, like, you're spamming them while they're still like here and walking up, so you can get some early damage in, see who the what the enemy team is running. Like, scouting that info early is always really nice. And, you know, slide back to your team, whatever. That exact spot doesn't matter so much as the idea of like rolling out as a method of scouting early and getting some early damage in. Yeah. And like looking for those spots where you can peek like from really high up, because people don't look up and it's a lot harder for them to shoot you. So like, play towards the skybox when you're doing that, when you're scouting. Boom. Okay. Come, you help your team. Amp, you save your Ana, you push the Lucio out. Speed Reaper around. Yeah. Like, this is all fine until that amp. That needed to be speed. Let's back up here and let's watch this popped out. Whoop. Like, if you even amp at all here.
The objective is now active.
Yeah. So, like, you don't want to amp heal the ball. He can go get a pack. It just doesn't... Your cooldown is worth more than that 150 healing is to a ball. It's just not... He doesn't need it. Everyone else was pretty fine. You took the damage after you amped, and, like, you could have just hid in cover instead. I don't know that you needed to amp that just yet, but... Let's see. Oh, and then, like, this boop on the Rhine. Let's watch this one more time from your perspective. You want to be careful doing that, because you didn't check where he was going. And your teammates will try to avoid the Rhine, and if you boop him last second like that, you can boop him straight into a teammate, and that's very sad. So, just don't boop the pin if you don't know where it's going, and you didn't look to see who might be waiting on the other end, yeah? Okay, messing around on point, looking for the cheeky boop, not going to work on the Hanzo. Yeah, speed first, heal second. I do that all the time just to mess with my team. Do what? But, yeah, so speed will save your ass so much more often than healing will. Your heals, even amped, aren't a lot. It's so easy to kill through Lucio heals. But speed so you get to cover. And then here you just got fully ahead of your team. Like... So I think part of the problem here is you don't seem to really understand what your job is right now. Yeah? And you're just sort of looking around looking for value. And you're helping your team and you're doing damage and you're doing good things, but it's just sort of like you don't already have a plan in mind, yeah? So I'm going to give you one. Who needs your speed? Not that guy. Situationally, maybe. For sure. Sometimes. Or, your aura, I should say. You should be keeping an eye on your Ana, heal her up, which you've been doing. Oh, and now you're on Kree. I forget who it was before, but you can also speed your Kree, yeah? So what I would be doing is I wouldn't worry about my tank so much. You can dive with your diva, but given how you have the Reaper and the Kree, I would keep an eye on my Ana to make sure she is safe while looking to speed my Reaper at least, and if I can, my Kree and maybe my diva, like in that order, Reaper, Kree, diva, while being within PO range of my Ana, yeah? And then you kind of keep her up and keep her good, and then you turn this guy into an absolute nightmare because now Reaper has a Lucio pocket, so he can just run people down. Yeah? Terrifying. Especially with like Ball creating chaos at the same time. It's great. And then from there, you do what you're doing now. Go, oh shit, somebody needs my help, and you go help them. Yeah? But you could be getting so much more value just by like helping those particular people out as your first goal, as something you're just always doing until you have to go do something different. Oh, you booped the Rhine pin just to mess with your team? Nick. Oh, yep. Yeah, you're just running it down. You did say you have some dumb deaths, so like, you realize that, but Lucio is a scout. A scout and a duelist and a support and yes, a healer and like a whole bunch of shit. But you, more than anyone else on your team, in fact, you need to know what the fuck is going on everywhere. Yeah? It's hard as shit. I'm not like saying it's easy, but you need to, as much as you can, see your entire team and their entire team or know exactly where they are. Yeah? That is like your job, is to just have the entire battlefield on lock. You just know where things are, because then you can make choices. Then you can put yourself in the most powerful position possible. Because the thing about Lucio is, with the exception of speed, you do fuck all that another support doesn't do way better. Yeah? So, except for those 3 seconds when you amp, like you have 3 seconds where your hero is good. I say this as a Lucio OTP. Aw, thanks so much for the Prime sub, Nick. 8 months, goddamn. But yeah, like as a Lucio OTP, our hero sucks. It's true. We can make him work, and he's fun as hell, but you're good for 3 seconds while you're amping, and then for the next 12, the only way you can be a worthy hero over any other is to be multitasking. You have to be doing multiple things at the same time, which is something Lucio's super good at. Yeah, you keep the right people in your auras at the right time while doing other things like scouting, ult tracking, shooting, getting clutch beats, etc. Booping to disrupt positioning, like look for boop plays. Those can be huge. And I don't just mean environmental, but like boot people into your team so they can kill them, or away from your team so your team can live. Like, yeah. All right. We have a beat. Let's see how it goes.
Oh, let's break it.
So you just went too early. You wanted it to... Good kill on the Rhine. Now let's pause this. I kind of want to see... It looks like your team used it, which is nice. Like, I'm not a big fan of the aggro beat in general, but if you're going to do it, go later than this. Wait until your team actually starts taking damage, yeah? And then hit the shields to keep them in the fight. Wait. This says your Kree is almost dead. This shows your Kree not almost dead. I'm gonna go back a little bit. And the colors just swap, so that's fun. Yeah, everyone was full when you hit your beat. Okay. Replay viewer is glitchy as all hell. Now, Kree could really use your beat. But it's gone. And now they beat after with Visor. You guys did get some kills first, so like maybe it works, but we'll see you kill that. Yeah, if you're gonna do it, wait until your team actually takes damage. Get value out of it, yeah? You can tell them, I'll beat, go in. Nice. That nade helped, but nice. But yeah, what'll happen in Diamond, well, Diamond, Masters, but especially lower ranks also are even worse, is they just won't go in with it, yeah? And even if they do go in with it, they just used it to cross. Now that they're actually fighting, and like they didn't need it to cross, there's plenty of cover, they could have just gone, yeah? Oh, got him. That Ryan is mental. He just keeps pinning into point.
Check this out.
On our way to our second beat. So this is a bit of a hot take, but I think that Lucio should heal first and then swap the speed when their team needs to move, rather than speed first and swap the heals when their team needs healing. Because you just soak up random chip and you build your beat super fast. Oh, thanks so much for the sub, Merman. Welcome, welcome. I'm on fire. Yeah, and like your beat is huge. And it's the most expensive ult in the game, so building them faster is really, really nice. You just need to have eyes on your team if you're gonna play that way, so you can swap to speed instantly. And remember, speed saves, not your heals. So like, for the most part, I thought your song choices were nice, most of your amps were good, but there's a few times where you're healing people who need to be moving, or who are moving, and who would get more benefit out of moving than being healed, yeah? Okay.
One. Ready for battle.
Nice. We backed up, we see our tanks, we're checking the outer lanes. They got a Widow. So, they have a Widow. You can't be in open space like this.
You're going to be okay.
Like, so since this is a really popular Widow map, let's pretend they had a good Widow. Yeah? All this time that you're over here, you're dead. These pillars are your friends. You need to play them super tightly, and like depending on if she's like holding up here versus like up here or up here, you can like play on either side of these pillars, or like use these pillars, maybe come close. This might give you an angle to go for a Reddit play if you want to take out the Widow. But the big thing is, Widow changes the way you have to play. Straight up. Because she can click on your head and you're dead. And there's nothing you can do about it. So you just cannot give her the opportunity to do that. Literally hide from her. And that's the thing. If you, especially since you guys have point control, if you make them play into you, and you just hide from the Widow, then they are taking a 5v6. Because Widow just isn't in the fight. She can't do shit if she can't see shit. So either they take a 5v6, or this Widow has to start taking more and more aggressive and, frankly, dumber angles to try to get a shot on you, and then she's easier to kill. Been really enjoying your reviews, and while I'm really bad, I feel I'm learning useful things. I'm going to show your Rhine vids to my OTP Rhine father-in-law, who's almost 70 and loves this game. We play on Switch. Oh, awesome. That's so cool. Welcome.
Let's up the tempo. I'm just getting started. I am loving this.
Daria, ready for duty.
Yeah, time to double time.
Okay. That was just a little bit of stall, whatever. I don't hate it.
Let's up the tempo.
I would have held the amp so you guys would have it now for getting through the choke. You can't play open space in front of the Widow. You keep getting in front of your team. It's so easy for Lucio to do that. You're so goddamn speedy. You just can't outrun them. Your support, your backline, you play behind them unless you're going on a play. And like, think about when you get to go on a play, yeah? I'm not saying don't do it, you have to do it sometimes, but like, think of it this way. The more people, nice, that was good. We're going to talk about that in a second. There was a lot of good about that. But the more people you can have in your aura getting benefit out of your aura, the less value comparatively you get leaving them to go do something else, yeah? Because it's your aura times however many people. Which also means if you're running Lucio in a team comp where nobody needs speed really or needs your pocket at all, then you have to go make plays all of the goddamn time because it's the only way you're going to get enough value, yeah? But in this situation, you have plenty of people who could use your help, and like you can be waiting for them. Wait for your tanks to engage and then go make your play after, yeah? Because otherwise you're just running into 6 people who kill you. Let them tunnel on your tanks first. Oh, right, and then this, so we're going to talk about lanes in a second. You go through this outer right lane, though, come at a 90-degree angle, and a racer. 90-degree angles are really nice because it minimizes people's AD movement. So if they're moving back and forth, to you, you know, it's this. The head just doesn't move as much. If they are, like, AFK sort of thing, or they're just standing still, they're hard-scoped, they're not expecting anyone, I find it can be better to come from behind, so long as they don't have a funky head hitbox that makes that hard, because their first instinct will be to press W as soon as they start taking damage, and then it's the same thing. Instead of dodging your projectiles, they just keep getting hit by them because they run in a straight line first, yeah? So good shit, good kill. You guys are about to cap this point back. I love it. This is just a really good example. Actually, let me get further out. This map is a really good example of lanes in this game. Basically, every map in the game is built around around 3 lanes. Like, some of them it gets 2, some of them it's 4. Some of them get funky and weird, but for the most part, in most places, 3 lanes, yeah? So you have main, woo, and then you have 2 outer lanes, yeah? Right, left, 1, 2, 3, coast, oh my god, my brain just went blank, I forget what this one's called. Anyway, if you are looking to make a play, or if you want to just be a huge carry in ways your team will never understand, at least not for like a much higher elo, control one or both of these while you're doing things. And by control, I don't mean like hold it until you die. I just mean do your best, and I don't mean kill anyone who takes it either. Just do your best to pressure them out. Deny the outer lanes from the enemy while making the middle lane easy. Because the objective, the middle lane, etc., is almost always a low ground with no cover, surrounded by high ground with cover. It's a death trap. It is a shooting gallery. So, and like the easiest way to bait somebody into a kill box like this is make it the easy place to go. Yeah? Let them come to point where they will die and deny them the off angles that will carry. Yeah? So you see a Reaper coming up here, you pressure him out. You see a Tracer coming up, you pressure her out. Whatever. And if you can deny the angles, that's huge. And then you can use these lanes yourself to come make a play like you just did. Because they don't see you coming. Do unto them, but also prevent the enemy from doing to you. Yeah? It's huge play. Just denying those off angles and like the fact that you can boot people down from high ground. Like I said, you don't have to die for it, and you shouldn't die for it. If like you just can't take the fight, then you can't take the fight and you give it up. It's fine. But you know, you made them fight for it, yeah? At least make them take it from you. Don't let them just have the off angle for free. And especially since you're a projectile, if you can pressure them from like long range, whatever. You could have just done passive and saved your amp. Ryan isn't any better on Monkey. Good play. Good play. Good play. You need to be careful with Hanzos because they can one-shot you, like you'll get rolled. But that was a powerful off angle. He could have rolled your team. You had help, like it was just good. That Monkey is having a really bad day. I love that. Look where you were though. Out of lane. It's where all the good shit happens, man. The outsides of the fight. You hear that Junkrat, you can boot him down. Now you could go kill him. So the tire might be a bait. Just like that. Monkey's on that lane, you shoot him a bit. We can't really take this fight, we fuck off. Just like that. Yep, last fight, good beat. I mentioned this a little bit, but I guess the only other thing I have for you on Lucio is if you aren't already doing it, track ults. Track ults and tell your team also what ults the enemy has.
Victory!
Your Diamond Reinhardt, the likelihood that he blocks the other Diamond Reinhardt's shatter goes through the fucking roof if he knows it's coming. And in Diamond, he may or may not be tracking that. It's really a coin toss, yeah? So if you say, hey, Ryan has shatter, not only do you just help your Ryan out for blocking that shit, you help the rest of your team out, so they're like, oh shit, I should position so I don't get fucking shattered. Or, oh hey, I see the Reinhardt W'ing in, he's gonna shatter, let's move. And then additionally, like, the ults that you can beat for obviously are great, but just tracking ults is really good. If it's not something you're already doing, just the like the quick and dirty way of doing it is about every other fight, people will build their ults, yeah? And then you adjust that every other fight based on what you've seen. And since you should be up high on walls and looking down and seeing everything, yeah, scouting, you should have a pretty good idea for the most part of, oh, hey, this person on the enemy team, they're really doing a lot. They're putting in some fucking work. They probably have an ult late the first fight. This other person, you know, who's been playing Respawn Simulator, they might not even have ult the third fight, etc. So you adapt from there, but if you didn't see it, if they didn't use their ult the last fight, assume they have it this fight. And you'll be right more often than you're wrong. Cool. I hope that helps. If you ever want to drop another Lucio VOD, like I said, he was my OTP. I love him very, very much. Yeah. Cool.